Is that a probiscis? Or are you just happy to see me? It looks awfully like a probiscis. Not very social, are you? Oh, don't worry. I imagine I'll be much more pleasant to deal with than the other agents I'm sure you've come across. Well, I guess we better get started. It's supposed to be my day off, but nobody seems to know that, do they? What on earth is that? So many sounds. I don't even want to know half of what's going on in these halls. Right, where is my folder? Where's my folder? The organization in this place really leaves something to be desired. Not that they're ever gonna listen. There's not a lot these paper pushers can do except for put me in a room with a strange but still quite fascinating, I think, creature on my day off. Do you know what I wanted to do on my day off? Well, I had a little date with a tufted titmouse. Have you ever seen a tufted titmouse? Majestic creatures, tufted titmice are. Just beautiful little titmice. I really love tits, mice, titmice, titmice. Anyway, let's see. Oh. Well, they just left the file out naked this time. Wonderful. As if it's not classified information. I don't even really work in the Bureau, but I still know the procedures a lot better than these people do. I guess it'll just be me and you today. To be quite honest, that's probably for the best. Let's see. An Abúhuwa? Abúhuwa, is that how you say that? Looks like you are from Colombia. Interesting. So you wouldn't have seen a tufted titmouse. Though I imagine you must have seen much more beautiful things in Colombia. And you're from the Amazon. It seems to be a bit of a given, but you never know. So the Abúhuwa, or Abúhuku, from Colombia, of the Cuebo people. Wonderful. That's something I haven't seen just yet. What is the background on you? So that is a probiscis. Wonderful. The Abúhuwa kills people by drilling a hole in their head and sucking out their insides. That is decidedly less pleasant, but I don't believe you will do me any harm. Nothing? Nothing going on? Okay, we'll just move on. So it looks like to the Cueblo, you could be considered a type of ogre. Interesting. Nocturnal. Sticky bodies. Wonderful. And the hair can be used for potion making. I don't know that I would want to get super close to a sticky, hairy creature for that, but whatever floats your boat. Now let me see. Oh. Oh, that would explain some things. Looks like double underlined and circled. It says right here in the comments section, dumber than a box of hair? Does that seem to fit? Dumber than a box of hair. Interesting. That might explain the demeanor. A bit bigger than humans, and capsaicin is toxic. That must be why. Did they not just have raw peppers? Or did they really have to order nachos from the local taco truck? You know what? I'm not going to complain. The least they can do is offer me some nachos for taking a look at whatever you've got going on here. Let me see. Okay, so as long as I have the peppers, I should be fine. So basically, you are a big giant toddler. Well, I mean, I've definitely dealt with creatures of similar demeanor, certainly. Not too many, but I think that makes me feel just a little bit better. Now, what doesn't make me better is the pile of things all over my workspace. I don't know what this is supposed to be, but we're gonna have to tidy that up right quick. Let me see. So we will need this. Generally, when I examine a creature for my secret creature files, as I like to call them, generally I will take a look at you as a whole. I like to jot down the description. I have some blank spaces that need to be filled in for your particular description. Guess we're not springing for a professional pen light. And I do know that now. I have been studying on medical tools. Wasn't much too long ago that, well, I had a big box of them, certainly, but I wasn't sure what to do with them. Although I've never seen these used in a medical capacity. Oh, these are for you. I'll keep that in mind. That must be a soothing tool. We'll keep that close. Other than that, there. I think we have everything quite in order. Wonderful. Now, all I need you to do is just sit back and relax. If you need the little brushes at any point, just let me know. I'll keep these near. And I'm going to just sanitize my hands. And from time to time, I may need to get a little close and feel around. I'll try not to feel too much, as a bit of a texture fiend, if you will. Don't really like textures that I'm not really sure about. I'm not sure what exactly makes you sticky. I don't know that I want to find out. Unfortunately, it is my job, and I am supposed to take a sample of the sticky. See, just months ago, I was thinking that I wanted to get out in the world, and I didn't want to be confined to the library for the rest of my life. Now I'm thinking that would have been a much more pleasant alternative. But, as they say, it is what it is. Now let me see. need to get a general description of you. Now, we've mentioned that you are bigger than a human, and okay, they do have a measurement down. Huh. Well, I know who I would pick to be on my basketball team. Quite large. Although I don't know what position I'd put you in. Let me see. So you are quite slender. Say quite built as well. You work out often? I imagine one would have to if they're, well, living in the Amazon. I imagine you are up in the trees, swinging through the trees. No, nothing. Okay, that's fine. All right. Well-defined musculature. I just kind of wanted to use the word musculature. Sounds so scientific, does it not? I feel like I know what I'm doing, even though I really was left with no instructions. Now, let's see. They do want a good, thorough investigation of the skin and the probiscis, of course. Well, at least they brought me nachos. Now, let's see. You are quite dark in color. Beautiful, beautiful, deep. I would say auburn, maybe even burnt sienna. There's quite a bit of red and orange to that, so let's go auburn. Okay, what else do we have? You have nails, you have claws, talons. Oh, very good. And of course, the elephant in the room, the beak you got on there. The probiscis. Now, I will admit that I'm a little wary. I am. And not because I think you will harm me, but I just don't really like sharp things near my nose. Quite fond of it. I imagine you're quite fond of yours as well. So, if we could reach an agreement with that, I will warn you as much as possible of what I'm doing, where I'm going to be, and in exchange, don't knock the nose. Does that sound all right to you? Do we have an accord? I am going to assume the burbling means yes. If not, we can revisit that. Now, let me see. We do have some different diagnostic tools. This is a new one. Interesting. Look at that. Do we like this? I think we like this. I think this will be fun for me and for you. We'll keep that in mind. Looks like they do want a read on auditory sensitivity. Excellent. And I, of course, have my pen light. I have my magnifying glass, my tongue depressor for looking into all that, and the otoscope. However, we'll see what we can do with this one. The ear situation does not look favorable for the moment. Now, why don't we start with some good old-fashioned light? Good. And this one, yes, these particular models need to warm up a little bit. So we'll give that just a moment, and we'll pull out a magnifying glass. And we have to take a look at the skin, and we also have to take a look at the probiscis. Now, I think as far as the sample goes, perhaps we'll leave that for a little later on. Or do we just tackle it now? We'll play it by ear, I think. So if you could just look at me and be wary of the nose there. Okay, let me just come in real close. Just want to take a little peek at what you've got going on here. Yes, don't be alarmed. I am well aware of how scary this can be, especially because you are thousands and thousands of miles from home. I know if I lived in the Amazonian jungle, I would certainly be missing it quite terribly if I was in this big black box. But I'm working on that as much as I can. Easy. Yeah. Beautiful. Lots of hair. Certainly lots of hair. That seems to be a commonality between many of the cryptids that I have investigated as of late. Let me just pull this back a bit. Okay. Good. Just stay still for me. Stay still for me. Now, it may not seem like I am doing anything in particular, but in reality, there are quite a few things I am looking for. Some creatures get a bit of flash in their eyes, like many animals would. I like to look at how the eyes react. Some creatures, a lot of nocturnal ones, tend to shy away from the light, so I'm looking a bit at disposition. And if I hold this at a good angle, I can see a little bit more into the sticky situation. Whether there is a sort of sap that clings to the hair. Is it created by the skin? Yep, don't be alarmed. I just want to take your arm here. Very muscled. Quite toned. Beautiful. Good, and the other arm. Oh, wonderful. Yes, it is a lot stickier than I thought it was going to be. I knew it was going to be sticky. I just didn't know how much. Yeah. Whatever. So, let's take a look at that nose-mouth hybrid you have going on here. See if I can just... That's a little bit better, isn't it? Yes. I see, it's just very fleshy, is it not? There's a lot of flesh happening here. Wonder what that's all about. I'm not seeing any any sort of stickiness on the proboscis itself. Of course, why would one need that on their mouth? Really, that might get in the way. Let's see. The proboscis is fleshy. Fleshy, no sticky sap. Well, and that really lends to wonder, what is the sap made of? I know we're going to investigate that, but is it just a modified sweat? Is it a different substance entirely? Is it like crystallizing saliva? Do you lick yourself? Is it... No, we don't know. We don't know. That's fine. I can see why perhaps you are not necessarily nearly as notorious as some of the other creatures I've seen. Let me see. So, sticky sap, no sticky sap. There we go. And do you think perhaps I might get access, rather? I'd be able to see the tongue? Is that something we can do? Maybe? Okay, pardon me, I'll just... Poke. Poke. You could just... One of those? Poke. Poke, poke, poke. Poke, poke, poke. Oh, there we go. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That's very long. How far back does that go? No, I don't want to know. Truly, I do not. I know it's my job, but there has to be a line. Truly. Has to be a line somewhere. Let me see. So perhaps I can use this. There's a little bit of saliva at the side of your face, and that might be good to compare it to whatever sticky situation you have going on here. So if I could just I don't like this. Oh. Well, I certainly got some. I guess while we're sampling, I suppose I better get one of the sticky sap, but, oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. They didn't leave me any sampling kits. I think... Alright. I can vibe with that. I'm just going to take your arm and just going to very gently stroke the arms. Just like that. And I suppose we'll just throw this entire thing in a baggie. I'm just going to take this arm. suppose you are kind of cute. You're not really thinking about the whole head drilling and sucking the innards out thing. That does put a bit of a damper on it, but been fairly docile so far. Don't imagine you get taken care of very often, do you? No, this is probably a little strange, but it's one of the most humane ways I've taken a sample. We might have to keep that in mind for next time. It's so much less anxiety-making than trying to scrape the tools over the skin, and that certainly does the job, and it captures a good amount. Samples taken care of, check. And I really didn't have to get too much into there. At this point, I'm just going to be sticky. That is just how life is going to be at the moment. Now, what else do we have here? Oh, so we've taken a look at the skin, done the proboscis, done the sampling. So let's go ahead and I suppose we better look for some ears. I assume you have them. So we'll take a little look, shall we? Now, I believe I'd like to start on this side. So I'll be at the side of your head. First, I'm just going to take a look. I do not believe I will be putting this inside anywhere, because if I can't find an ear straight off, that means it's, well, I mean, all ears are internal, but that's really internal. So let me just take a look. I'll see if I can find any sort of indentation or divot in the skin. Maybe a fold, perhaps. What on earth is that? Ah. Do you have another face on the back of your head? You have two faces? You have two... How did I not notice that before? Oh, I suppose I have been in front of you the whole time and kind of just been staring blankly at me. Okay, two faces. Double the fun. There's not really a proboscis, though. Okay. Well, maybe one of the holes is the hole I'm looking for. I didn't want to go looking for holes. I don't like looking for holes. Like, it should be fairly self-explanatory where the hole is. Shouldn't have to be guided to it. No. What about over here? Let me see. perhaps we're just going to have to table the ears for now. Maybe at some point we can catch you while you're sleeping and do a little investigation. The fingers, I just don't want to put mine anywhere. And I have claws just like you do, and I don't want to spook you with them. Also, I would prefer having gloves if I'm going to stick my fingers in any holes, which I have not been in before. Not that I've been in a lot of holes. I mean, I've been, but I do. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let me see. Okay, so no visible ears, pinna, auditory canal. But we can see if you do have any sort of sensitivity, or more importantly, it might make more sense if you were deaf, perhaps. Maybe you can't hear. I guess we can test that out. So, before I might actually cause a ruckus here, I'm just gonna rustle my fingers and see if you turn towards the sound. Okay, so just going to rustle the fingers. So either you are deaf or just really do not have any sort of awareness. Well, let's try the sound. Maybe I should start a little softer first. Start gentle. Truly nothing? I suppose we should look into that. Either completely unbothered, moisturized, and flourishing, or deaf. There. have to look at that. Now, I think go ahead and take a little listen and see. I don't have any data really on your anatomy at all, which is also why I couldn't find the holes, the ears, and so I'm not sure if you have a heart, if you have a pulse, if you have lungs. I don't know anything that's going on inside. So we'll take a little listen, and we'll see what's going on. Now I'm just going to be putting this on your chest here. So I'll take a little listen. Is that what my heart really sounds like? I can hear it all the way up in here. Should probably get that looked at. So I will be just listening across the chest, and we will listen for the heart, listen for the lungs. If you allow me, I will listen to the abdomen as well. I didn't know what my inside sounded like, and I certainly wish that I didn't know at this point. Anywho, so let's take a listen. There's certainly something here. There's a rumble of sorts. So there are certainly organs. But there are some dead spots that I can't really hear anything. It's right there. What if I go? It's present there as well. But just an inch down, it's not. Half an inch it is. 3/4 it is. But an inch it is not. It's good to know. It's the same way on the other side. That is quite something. Now, do you think I could take a listen to the abdomen? Would that be... Let's try it. You haven't seemed to mind anything so far, so... So that's a no. Okay, so we don't like that. That's fine. We'll take just a breath. We'll take a moment, and we will restart in a minute. So I wasn't really able to listen to your lungs, if you have any. It was more focused on whatever the rumbling was and why it was only present in this area, but not here. Yes, 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 no. Not sure what it is about right here, but I'll take a listen to the lung, so I will not go below here. Listen here. That seems to be fine. Well, you have lungs. They sound sort of stickily, crackly, and sticky as well. So either you are very sick, or there is some sort of biological process that we are not aware of that we're going to have to investigate further, I think. So let me put this away, and last thing, I really, really want to use this ball on a stick. Well, I suppose it's not a ball, it's more of a very thick pancake. It's flapjack on a stick. I want to use this. So we're going to test some reflexes. And I think I'm going to have to be very careful with this one, that I don't have another abdomen auscultation event. So you obviously have tendons in your feet that I could try. So we could try the Achilles tendon reflex. I don't know if it's the Achilles tendon on you, but I'm just going to grab hold of the foot here. Here we go. So I'm just going to very gently hold the foot and just going to keep it flexed a little bit, and I'm just going to very gently tap on it with this. Okay, so you ready? Okay. So we do have an Achilles tendon reflex. Let's test that on the other foot. I'm going to hold on to the toes here. We'll flex a little bit, and we'll just go ahead and good. And let's check for a patellar reflex. Now, we're gonna have to try to relax this leg here. Relax the legs. And we'll see how this goes. All right, keep your legs relaxed. We will just go. Yes, that does seem a bit of a strange sensation. Really only takes 1 or 2 strikes of this, but kind of enjoying myself. I hope you don't mind. Also, I like the idea and the sound of 9 strikes. It's quite pleasant. Good, good. And let me see. I could test for a finger jerk reflex. If I could just get you to curl your fingers around mine, almost like a toddler would. Okay, and I'm just going to be striking my finger. We'll see if you have a finger jerk. Other side, just curl your fingers around mine. Good, let's see. I don't know that I want to get into brachioradialis or even triceps. I don't know that I want to. No. I can do the biceps, however. So I'm just going to put my thumb in the crook of your elbow, just like this, and I'm going to curl the rest of my fingers around the elbow, and I'll be tapping on my thumb, which will be right on your cubital fossa here. Okay, we're just going to go. Wonderful. And the other side. Thumb in the crook of the elbow, fingers around the elbow. Watching that little bit of muscle movement. Now, lastly, we could try a jaw jerk reflex, but I don't think there's really any point considering the whole nose of the thing. So, we'll leave it at that. And that was quite enjoyable. So, let's see. You do possess the Achilles, teller. Finger jerk was a little iffy rather. Sticky, icky, iffy. It was a little iffy rather, but the biceps reflex was intact. So, not so much on the finger jerk. Curious about that one. That seems a bit strange. It certainly could be my technique, however. I have gotten most of my medical information from the World Wide Web, and we all know that nobody lies on the internet, right? Nobody. So, to be tested, we could try proBOScis, of course. And we could try brachioradialis. And triceps, and you know what? I think I'm going to leave the jaw jerk for someone else. Some other poor sap that they can call in on their day off, who were looking forward to watching the tufted titmice, but alas, did not get to see any tits. Mice. Now, I think that'll do it. We have our samples, we've taken as much information as we can, and, well, those nachos are looking pretty good right now. Albeit a bit soggy, but a nacho's a nacho. All right. Before I leave, is there anything at all that I can do for you to make your stay more comfortable? I certainly think that for one that lives in a jungle, first of all, it should be much warmer in here, much more humid. I can see your skin's a little on the dry side, although that might also just be from the sap, I don't know. And I think we should get a little bit more light in here, don't you? It's a little dark. They must have switched the lights. I'm used to the very, very bright LEDs, but I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. But we'll get some quality of life changes here, and hopefully they won't keep you too long. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure what the Bureau is doing with all of you different creatures. Now, the optimist in me, the scholar in me, thinks that perhaps we are creating some sort of Bureau-sponsored encyclopedia, complete with pictures and all the beautiful things, right? But the realist in me is not sure. And I do wish to know more, but I think that there's a reason that they've brought me in here with you. And I don't think I'm supposed to find out why. So, on that note, I think I will sign off. So, this was your friendly agent. Still not technically an agent. Your friendly, whatever, representative, Quinn Curry of the Bureau of the Occult. I truly hope this was at least a semi-pleasant experience for you, except for the whole, on the, yeah, I'll keep that in mind. That seems to be a common occurrence. And I'd like to thank you so much for being patient and allowing me to do this. So, well, that'll be all. I just put this in my folder. There's no folders. Fine. Just gonna leave it on the table. I suppose if you grab it and crunch it up and Not my problem, right? Just take my nachos. Yep. And I'll leave you be. Bye for now. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I create primarily medical, alternative medicine / pseudoscience, and personal attention ASMR roleplays. If you want to check out a specific category of my videos, my channel playlists have everything from sci-fi to historical to even fantasy videos. If you want to support my work, consider checking out my Patreon profile in the description box, where I offer early access to videos, exclusive content,